The Heartland Community Foundation is celebrating their highest amount of grant awards ever in their 15-year history. Executive Director Sarah Meitner stops by to share the details on this episode of the Post podcast.
You know, this is our 15th year. We were founded in 2007. And when we look at our total numbers for the year, this was our most amount granted year. We granted $429,772 in our fiscal year 2022, which is an astounding number, really. That is into all three counties, Ellis, Rooks, and Trego County. But just such a big impact, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, and a diverse, I don't know what the word would be, but diverse projects.
Oh, yes. You know what?
It
was 67 organizations for 129 projects.
Wow.
So that might be, USD 489 might be one organization. But just in our last cycle, we granted to Hayes High. We granted to Wilson Elementary. We granted to the USD 489 Foundation. So, it can look like a number of different projects, even if it is the same organization.
Very cool.
Yeah. So then when we look at that total number, since 2007, we had a really big milestone at Heartland. We passed the 3 million mark. So for projects all together, we've granted out $3,205,263.
I like that you have it to the dollar. No cents?
There probably was, and I left those off. But it's so incredible.
That is a major impact to the community.
It is to everything. It's to healthcare. It's to schools. It's to victims organizations, or to impoverished groups, or to churches. It really touches every element. I like to say to people, you've probably been impacted by a Heartland Community Foundation grant. You just don't realize it. We are really, truly behind the scenes, helping to give these grant dollars to our local organizations. And they're the ones doing the amazing work. They're the ones with feet on the ground, but they can't do it if they don't have the funds and the support. And that's where we can help. And it's so amazing.
Yeah. And, something that I've got to see over the last couple of years watching you guys and reporting on the Heartland Community Foundation, even before you were involved, was exactly what you're describing, that effort to find those opportunities in our community and those organizations that really just need the help on the money side.
Yeah.
Because there's so much work and everybody has all the great ideas and things they want to accomplish. But as you say, if you don't have the funds,
you just can't do it. Yeah. And they have great ideas. They're doing, our local organizations are doing such incredible work. And sometimes they know what they want to do to take it to the next level, or to increase their capabilities, or increase their capacity. They just need a little bit of extra dollars to do it. And they can depend on charitable dollars. They can depend on our local donors, who are so generous. But when you put that power of endowment to work, it can really fill the gap. And, we're granting some pass-through dollars from the Dangy Hansen Foundation, which we are really, really fortunate to have that partnership. But this is also our legacy dollars. These are the dollars that we are fundraising for every February. It's right around the corner. We fundraise during what we call Match Month. And as we boost those funds, we can grant even more. So you'll be ready I'll be back in January and February to tell you more about that. But we really do depend on the investment of our community, and then the passage of time and some patience to see those funds grow. And boy, when they do, we can grant even more. So that's what we want to see.
I'm sure.
So we just wrapped up our fall cycle. So that fall cycle, we granted $111,066.43. I'll throw the 43 cents in there.
Had the cents. I love it.
We fully funded 16 projects and partially funded 10 others. Here in Ellis County, we granted $39,000 and some change. But some of those, I don't know which ones I can tell you about and which ones I can't. But an example, we funded the Night to Shine, which is something everybody has seen in the past, but it's the parade, or the parade and the dance for people with disabilities. We granted them $5,000. we had a really cool project that came out of Ellis High School that was just over $4,000. That it was student led. It was a student who, actually a member of the Youth Action Council, who wrote that grant for outdoor seating and game area for students there. So that was one. Just some really cool projects out of Waukene. We had a grant to the high school for adaptive PE equipment for their weight room. So to help give some opportunities for students who have disabilities, the opportunity to participate in class. And out of Rooks County, there was a really great project that's being led by the Plainville Library. They're doing some enhancements, and we granted them just over $4,000 for picnic tables and things that'll be outside their library to create outdoor space, so it could be used even when the library's closed. So it's a pretty cool project as well. So excited about some of those, and just what's ahead, because I love hearing about the projects that are in the works, and applications that people are working on for looking forward, so we can keep boosting that total number and grant the next million.
Yeah. Well, and you know what I love about the examples that you gave is none of those themselves is a huge project.
No, yeah.
But there are things that, when you combine it all together, they do have that long-term impact on the community. It's the little things. And it's so cool that an organization like yours is able to help sustain and foster those kind of projects.
Well, there was one, and I don't want to share details because I don't want to, it would be their story to tell, but it was to NCK Tech. We granted just over $8,000, and it is for a project that's going to facilitate the teaching of their nursing students. It's a really cool project. But what that does is it's an investment truly into our economic forecast, our economic future here, and helping to create even better nurses and, people who can go and work and serve our community in a long-term way, which, it's more than even just a one-time event. It is planting seeds for what's to come. And we have projects that do both. And I love that.
Yeah. And, as we're getting ready to wrap up this year and looking ahead towards next year, I know a lot of folks, this is a good time to consider charitable giving for a lot of reasons, but I think for a lot of folks, there's a practical need there to get that on the tax records, right? So you're encouraging people.
They're down to just a couple of weeks, and of course, I always say talk to your financial advisor. But if there is a need to lower your taxable income, a great way to do that is to make a charitable gift, and you can open a donor advised fund with the Heartland Community Foundation. You get that gift for 2022, but you can decide later where you want those charitable dollars to go. It might be a charitable organization that you support regularly, like your church or your alumni association, or it might be a project that you hear about later, or you maybe come to us and say, what's a grant that you weren't able to finish making, and I want to finish that project. You have complete flexibility as much as you'd like. But the benefit is that you get that tax deduction for 2022. You have, and you don't even have to make the charitable gift to 2023. You can make it at any point in the future, which is a really, really kind of neat way to slide in there and get that donation or that credit when you don't quite know where you want those dollars to go. But we also, if you have a minimum required retirement distribution, we can facilitate that. Or if you have an IRA rollover that needs to happen, we can facilitate that. Just about anything if you're needing to get those last minute transactions taken care of. If there's a charitable intent in any way, certainly give us a call at Heartland and we can help you out. As long as it's done by the 31st of the year, and I know that falls on a Saturday, but if it's postmarked with, on the envelope or whatever, or dated on a check, we can still accept it.
Excellent. And maybe with the last minute or two that we've got left, I know you guys will, like everybody else, will be impacted for the holiday. So if they're looking for that guidance, maybe keep some concessions there in place.
Yes, I'll be out of the office, of course, the day after Christmas when the holiday is there. But I will be in through the remainder of the week just because it is a busy time for us. So certainly you can give me a call at 785-621-4090. I always pass out my cell phone number, so I have to think twice about the office number. Or you can email us at heartland@gscf.org. Or certainly stop by. We're located in the Chestnut Building in the lobby of 1200 Main Street. So just across from the library, stop by and visit there that week between Christmas and New Year's. I'm usually the only one there. The other organizations that's a downtime for them and they can be gone, but we are busy during that time.